Every empire that allowed its currency to be diluted has experienced a significant rise in the prices of goods and services. The first phase of a financial system collapse is always currency debasement, or call it the dilution of the currency, which always, and I say this, always leads to runaway inflation. In today's episode, we will show you that today in 2025, we are already in this specific phase. And a financial system collapse is just around the corner. Welcome to the Money Revolution, a podcast where we empower one another to build wealth through the sharing of information and ideas about how money really works. I will once again be your host, Masijela Mantu. Big shout out to our episode sponsor, Stokvel Gold. Stokvel Gold is an authorized dealer in gold and silver, registered with the Financial Intelligence Center, and they help us with all our gold and silver purchases. Now, if you are interested in starting your own gold and silver journey, hit the link in the description below and Stokvel Gold will get in touch with you. In today's episode, we look at currency debasement. We actually look at what it is and how it always leads to financial system collapse. What is currency debasement? To expand on this, we will look at two powerful empires through the lens of their coinage. Firstly, the Aksum Empire, which existed in present-day Ethiopia from 100 AD to 940 AD. Around 270 AD, Aksum began minting gold and silver coins. These coins were almost flawless, with a gold purity of a near 96%. This coinage fueled vibrant trade and positioned Aksum as a respected power in global commerce. But by the year 600 AD, the story had completely changed. The purity of their coins had slipped to a mere 50%. This drop in the purity is what we call currency debasement. With that debasement came a predictable outcome. Traders demanded more of the weaker currency for the same goods and services. This rise is essentially what inflation is. Trade declined significantly within Aksum. Prices soared and the daily lives of the ordinary citizens became more difficult. And by 900 AD, the Aksum Empire had collapsed completely. Another example of currency debasement is in the ancient world of the Byzantine Empire, which emerged around 330 AD and lasted for over 1,100 years, up until 1453 AD. In 330 AD, it introduced something we call the solidus, a gold coin that remained remarkably stable for over 700 years. The solidus was a symbol of trust and reliability across Europe and the Mediterranean region. The trust and stability of the solidus built the Byzantine Empire into a dominating force. But around 1030 AD, after years of costly wars and fiscal strain, the empire's finances became heavily strained. The empire then began to dilute the purity of their solidus gold coinage. Gold purity of the solidus slipped from a 95% high to a mere 70%. And more Africa, this again is currency debasement. And the very same pattern unfolded. Rising prices, eroding confidence, and eventually in 1453, Constantinople fell into the hands of the Ottoman Empire. Both these empires, although centuries apart, followed a same destructive path. High levels of spending as a result of war, followed by currency debasement, and then high levels of inflation, which was eventually followed by a collapse of a civilization.
But every empire ends when they debase the currency. And that was the end of the empire. Every empire dies when they violate this.
The moment you have rulers tamper with money, the cycle already kicks in. What was once trusted and valuable became diluted and easily cheapened. In ancient times, rulers diluted coins, but today, central banks produce the very same effect by creating currencies, or what you call money, out of thin air. The US dollar, which mind you was once considered as good as gold, has lost 96% of its purchasing power over the past 100 years. And you look at South Africa and you see a similar script. In 1980, for instance, a loaf of bread was just 40 cents. But today, it will probably take you more than 25 rands to walk out of a supermarket with that very same loaf of bread. Our money is being gradually devalued, and that is why everything that you buy is getting more expensive.
More Africa, a quick reminder that the paper in your pockets will perish. Gold and silver have stood the test of time. I am protecting my family and our Stokvel savings by accumulating gold and silver coins to ensure that I benefit from the biggest wealth transfer that's coming. Now back to the episode.
In Zimbabwe, for instance, during the 2000s, a wheelbarrow full of Zimbabwean dollars couldn't buy you a loaf of bread. At the same time, silver and gold coins were accepted everywhere. In 2018, when the Venezuelan bolivar collapsed, both gold and silver were used for trade because they always retain their intrinsic value. The lesson here, Mo Africa, is very simple and also very consistent. Paper money perishes, but gold and silver endures. For thousands of years, across every empire, these precious metals have been the ultimate store of wealth. Mo Africa, we want to hear from you. Do you believe that we are already in the collapse cycle? What are you personally doing to prepare yourself for what is coming? Will you watch your wealth slowly disappear, or will you position yourself on the right side of history? Once again, we appreciate you for joining us on this episode of The Money Revolution. If you found the topic discussed in this episode insightful, hit the like button and share it with someone that you care about. And to get notified on our weekly uploads, hit the notification bell so that you never miss out. Let's wake up the masses. Let's understand how money really works. And take back our power one conversation at a time. And remember, if it's paper, it will perish.